Night with Troy and Dina, episode 15. This is the continuation of our home project. So in earlier episodes, episode 14 and then the teaser for 15, we took out where Troy's standing right now. There was this wall that went to right about here. You can see the floor is still not quite patched. And there was a desk area and an upper cabinet. Took that out, relocated the cabinet, and we even relocated the desk. So let's come on into the family room. I'll show you where we put the desk. Pardon the mess, we're still literally getting things back together. But this is the desk that we repurposed. Bob, our handyman, did a great job. Cut down the desk, so made it, there we go. Made it a little bit smaller. I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, this is what the desk looks like. Found this piece of remnant granite. It's the leathered cosmic black, which looks great, ties in everything. The only thing I need to do now is switch out my drawer handles because these are too kitchen-y. We've got a different look now with this, so I'll find something really cool, copper, decorative, just kind of stunning. So our phone's gonna go on here, which will be really nice. Then we'll put our chair back. So that's a good way to repurpose something. Found the corbels online. I don't know if you can see. They're beautiful, ornate, kind of gives us a feel for that Tuscany. Has some vines on it and some leaves. So anyway, kind of like that.
We're sending you to a man.
This has been fun hanging out with you, by the way, with our...
So Ricky is joined. Hey Ricky.
Hey Ricky, decorating day night. So here's something
Bernadette
that we
says
learned
cool.
in our kitchen.
Don Hartman is joined.
Hi Don. So I had a color. Originally the plan was to paint the dining room a different color, and we were going to also have to paint the kitchen, but I was going to just patch the kitchen, but change the dining room to like a slate blue gray, more of a gray as opposed to a blue. Love the color, it was gorgeous. So I thought, well, maybe it'll work in the kitchen. I put 1, 2, 3 coats on, knowing in my heart of all hearts it was the wrong color. I tried to like it. I really, really tried to like it because I did all the painting. Hated it, so went back before work on Saturday morning for In the Street and picked this color, which I absolutely love. It is a gray, but it's a gray with a green undertone, which really works well for Tuscan style with the terracottas and the greens and the slates, but more of a green slate because it goes with our floor much better. Goes with our cabinetry much better. The slate was feeling purpley blue, and it was awful. It was awful. It was a beautiful color, but it was awful in the kitchen. So got that taken care of. All right, so one of the things that we did, we had our mirror, we put this back, we have our dining room back in place. So I'm going to show you this piece that I found online, which I loved. This was really inexpensive. Found this online for 30 bucks. I didn't like the color, so I took some gold paint, some umber paint, and some bronze paint, made my own little concoction, if you will, and then I just ragged it on. And now it's the color that I want it to be. So now it picks up the gold leaf in the mirror, picks up the chandelier, and this is gonna go right up yonder. And that's what you're gonna do for me here. Whoopsie daisy. So that's gonna go up there, and that'll be nice. All right, so now why don't you hand me the phone and I'm gonna put you to work.
Okay.
All right, so here's my wonderful husband who gets Husband of the Year award for doing this entire project. Oops, am I following you?
Well, I'm getting the stuff, right?
Oh, okay. So while he gets some of the stuff, trying to think, oh, okay, so painting ceilings. Ugh, nobody likes to paint ceilings. I don't know anybody who likes to paint ceilings, certainly not me. But what was good about this was I still had my ceiling color, and really all that needed to be patched was this one little soffit area. So I got away with not having to paint the entire ceiling. I just had to paint this one little bit. But with painting the trim, because this is all new trim, so I painted the trim, but of course when you paint the trim and it's this beautiful, crisp, white, clean, everything else looks dingy. So then we painted all the trim. So now it all looks beautiful, which is good. I'm glad that I did that, but so not fun when you're in the midst of doing all the painting. Oh, thank you, dear. Whoops. Okay, so now the table has these great chairs that's going around. And So one of the things that we learned in our project, and I knew this kind of ahead of time, electrical should not be done by anyone other than an actual electrician. So it took Bob a little bit to do the electrical. So what we had to do was this outlet, I don't know if you can see it, this outlet was down on this wall, which is no longer here, and the thermostat was over this way too, which is no longer here. So Bob had to move those down. He was able to figure it out with minimal repair in the basement. I did have to patch the ceiling a little bit and repaint that, but other than that, it was fine. Okay, so now this piece is gonna go on this wall. Originally, this piece was over on the wall that no longer exists, and I moved it over here, and we're gonna create some balance. Are you able to do that without me? I think I hung it originally, but moment of truth. Is it on there? Ooh, you're good. Yeah, it helps when the anchors are already there.
Yeah. I think that's it.
That's it? Okay.
You gonna show it from there?
Oh yeah, I'll show it from this angle. Oh, so that's what that looks like. Isn't that nice? I also have a curtain that's gonna go underneath the cornice board. I made that cornice, actually Troy made it, just with some wood and then some batting and a good old handy stapler, and stapled the fabric around it, and it came out really well. I like to create my own things in the sense that you can make it the exact size that you want for a fraction of the cost of going and ordering something that's custom from a store. So it's really kind of an economic way, but also gives you that custom look that you're looking for. And what's really important is when you're using a pattern like this is to center your pattern when you have a repeating pattern. So that's something to keep in mind. Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of the stuff that has to go on top of yonder. But yeah, we can get to that. I'll give you... Hi Dana, hi Vicki, thanks for joining in. This is our home improvement project, episode 15, decorating date night with Troy and Dina. The tackled project on hand was our own house, where we have widened the opening, which I absolutely love now. So now my kitchen feels completely connected to the dining room and really looks like it's been here the whole time. It does not look like this is something that we did. It just looks like it's always been that way. So those go on this wall, yep, on either side. So now if we put the dining room back together, that's fairly easy to hang up. Yeah. Good deal. And this is another thing. I found these sconces. I don't think the store even exists anymore. Bombay Company. I don't know if you remember that store. I didn't like the color, again. So what I did was I took paint, metallic paint from the craft store, and I just rubbed it on with a paper towel or a rag, and then you get the exact color that you want. So it looks more antiqued and bronze. I wanted to kind of go with the mirror, but not compete with the mirror. So I didn't go full out and do a real gold, but I did something that was a little bit similar. So anyway, that's kind of what you do in there. And I don't know if you noticed, the ceiling is also the gold leaf. So here's what I did in this case. So the idea is that your eye gets drawn up to the center. So we go with a darker color on the outside of the ceiling, and then I just added a little bit of the center color each different section of the ceiling. So then we got to the lightest color in the center, which is the color that's in my foyer. So what that does is it connects the two spaces together. So I don't know if you can see that, if that makes any sense, but that's the idea. Isn't that cool? Oh, those are not anything, but that's okay.
Where's this stuff go?
Okay, so we'll have to get the step ladder because that stuff
Put
is
this whole
going to
thing
go.
up there like this?
No. I have to arrange that. I might have to do that. This
Okay.
here, this can go back in that space, honey.
You want me to video while you
Yeah, and there's
arrange that?
broken glass. You got to be careful. Some of those broke. You got to be careful. Those are the candles from when you celebrated our 25 years together. Well, actually, I'm going to have you hang this. You want to cut the price tag off or just rip it off? Okay, so you're one new piece that I got is an iron piece that's going to go over the doorway. It was just something, I didn't need it, but I just thought, oh, I think I might kind of like that. So once we get it up there, if we decide we don't like it, then I'll just, okay, go, no, we're not going to do that. So I'll have Troy hold it up there and I'll kind of get a visual, step back and see what I like or don't like, and we'll kind of go from there. The stepping stool is right here, the ladder, if you need that. Hi, Julie. Hi, Barbara. Good morning, ladies. Or good morning. I'm so used to being up in the morning. It's not morning at all. I should be getting ready for bed soon. 4 a.m. comes really early. Okay, so, oh, I do like that. Oh, I do like that. Okay, so you're gonna center that. I think I want you to go higher. That, no, not quite that high. Yes, no, up a smidge more. There you go, right there. So thirds helps create balance. So basically, if you can see visually, we'll have to measure. It's about, it has to go to the left a little bit. That's about right. Smidge more to the left. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so basically, here's something, a little tip that you need to know for decorating. When you're decorating, you want to do things in thirds. Believe it or not, it creates balance. It creates symmetry. So what I did was visually, I had Troy go about a third above the molding, but 2/3 down from the ceiling. And that's where you're going to hang the piece. Does that make sense? How you may just want to use...
Oh, it's just got a little hook right here, I guess, that holds the whole thing.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. No one's going to be bumping it.
Okay.
So just a screw, I guess?
Yeah,
Do you want to measure so that you're centered?
Yeah, so you want to get the second or get the rest of the
No,
stuff?
we can get the rest of the stuff. We can do that later. I just wanted to show everyone that's where that was going. Do you want to get our... In here is the wine rack. So our wine rack was living in the foyer, which is not typically where we have our wine. Oh, I'm going to show you the color that I originally painted. Sorry about showing you the floor, but crying out, tears come out. Okay, so the original color in the kitchen was this. This is probably helpful for you to see. This is a blue-gray. I don't know if you can't tell the difference. It was awful in here. It was really awful. It was just way too blue-gray. It looks dirty. It did not look rich at all. So that's, we're just gonna hold that for, and I have another gallon of it, and it's the really good paint, but that's okay. It's the Duration, which I highly recommend from Sherwin-Williams. It's excellent paint. Okay, so as I'm going through my kitchen, sorry about that, my kitchen doesn't usually look this messy, but it kind of is. Okay, so that is going to go right down the middle. That's our runner. So what I don't have a place for it yet.
Oh, okay, that's good for us to fix it.
Yeah. So the original plan was to just do our cornice board, which correlates or corresponds or coordinates with our chairs. This is my grandparents' furniture that I just kind of freshened up a little bit, but I did have some extra fabric left over. So what I did was I made a runner. I mean, simple, easy runner, and it just kind of offsets the dining room table. Very easy to do. And there should be another piece of red fabric that goes in the center. I might have it here. Oh, I guess not. Hi, Danny. Thanks, sweetie. Does it look great? Yeah, it's coming together. I'll show you from the kitchen so you can see everything. Ta-da! If your host family's there, you can show them. I just have to hang the curtain back up. But yeah, this is the shot from the kitchen. And now I'll show you from the dining room. Into the kitchen. Ta-da! Yeah, it's great. Looks so much better.
Not sure where you're putting everything, but I'll just...
Yeah, I can't remember where
set
I
it
had
down
some
for
of the
now.
stuff. Isn't that terrible?
Oh, you moved some things around, too.
Yeah, I did. I did.
So, where's this
So
going?
that is going to go back where we had it. Do you remember where we had it, our wine rack? Careful. It would be an awful shame if any of those bottles broke. It's fine if they are empty, but if we don't even get to enjoy the wine at each other's company. Nice. Yeah, like that. Very good. Okay. It just creates a little bit of balance and offsets the kitchen cabinet, or not the china cabinet. By this time of the day, you'll have to forgive me. I make no sense because I've been up since, well, I was up early. I was up at like 3:34. I couldn't sleep. So it's been a long, long day. Very, very long day. All right, once he comes back in, I'm going to hand him the phone, and then I'm going to put stuff in place because he doesn't really know where stuff is going to go. And I just kind of create stuff as I see it. I'm going to give you the...
Are we missing a chair somewhere?
Yes, there's chairs in the living room.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to get that stuff. You can talk about any sort of problems you encountered when you were doing the construction. Okay?
All right, well, let me go get one more thing.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. All right, I will start to fluff if I can remember where stuff went. So this was a really pretty handkerchief that my mother-in-law got for me, and so now I just use it in the center here to kind of honor her, and then add a little bit of color. I will do an arrangement. I think I'm going to do this here. And I can do this here. Sorry, I know you can't really see what I'm doing. Hey Doug, how are you? Hi Dave. Oops, sorry, I'm in your way.
Probably gonna go over here somewhere.
Yeah, I need to dust that, but that's okay. Ugh. Okay, so again, that number of 3 created balance with 3. Okay? All right, I'm going to hand that to you so I can fluff stuff up.
All right. I'm scroll. You probably said hellos, but let's see.
Yep.
So just in case, hello Bernadette. Hello Robin. Let's see who else. Hello Stephanie. And Ricky. And Bernadette. And Don.
Okay.
What am I on here? Oh, it recognized me.
Yep. That's because I typed your name in.
It recognized me. Now when it tells me invite, what does invite mean?
That means you can invite someone and then they can actually talk with us live. And
Oh.
you'll hear them. That's what I was talking with Jody
So
last time.
So should I do that?
If you want to.
I don't know. I'll
It's
just,
totally up to you.
sure. I'm going to invite everybody and see what happens. Consider yourself invited.
Date night with Troy and Dina. We could always come to your house if you have some decorating that you wanted to do. We would love to be a part of that and make that happen with you. Just contact me through the website, decoratingdatenight.com, and that's how we can get that to happen.
So Vicky, hello. I've invited you.
So basically what
Dana?
what it is we show up to your house.
Dana said
you
howdy.
have something in mind that you want us to work on. It could be a kitchen, it could be doing paint colors, it could be a bathroom, it could be just hanging up accessories, it could be, I don't know what to do in this space. It could be, oh my gosh, I've got a hodgepodge of all these different styles. How do I bring them together? That's what we do. We help you.
So some of these people have invite next to their name and other ones don't. I wonder why. That's interesting. Anyway, so howdy back at you, Dana. And Joanna getting an invite. Hello. And Julie gets an invite. Hello.
Okay.
And Barbara gets an invite. Hello. Barbara says hi. Hi back. Oh, it says Danny is on here.
Yeah, she said it looks great.
Says looks good, Mom, but I can't invite her. That's interesting. Dave Burke. Hello. Douglas. Hello. Getting an invite. Sam also gets an invite. And I think that's everybody's been invited that I can invite. I'm not sure how you get yourself to be invited. If you've been invited, I guess it means you can talk to us now.
Yeah.
So we'll try that out.
I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I'm just kind of finagling stuff around, seeing what I like, what I don't like. Okay, so this.
Oh, I kind of missed you doing that up there, but.
All right, I do like this as a little. Okay, so again, our idea is to create balance. So I like things in 3. So I've got my 3, I've got my 2, that creates 5. So there's your
Does this belong
balance.
there?
It's fine.
I don't even know what that is.
It's for a T.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
you could put that inside for a T, but
Gotcha.
Mary Jane gave this to me.
Oh.
Voila! This was my going away gift from working at the stations that I used to work at. So that was my.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you got that set up here. You put
So
the
yeah, I'm
greenery.
missing some things. So I'm gonna go grab those things.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if I can figure out where did you say those chairs were?
They're in the living room.
I don't even know where the chairs are in my own house. That's not a good sign. How do I flip this camera around so you can see? Let's see, is this how I do it? Here I am. Hello. A little disheveled. Sorry. That's what happens when you move stuff around. Sorry about the lighting getting bad all of a sudden. Moving this chair and holding the camera at the same time. Oh, that didn't sound good. Something was dropped. Ugh, let me switch this around so you can see better than just darkness.
Okay.
What was that? No?
The teapot. Right, so this was my grandparents' tea set, and they probably used it. So now it's just decoration. Very tarnished, by the way.
Yeah, but that makes it have that old look.
It definitely looks old. So here's a little secret. Good old Tupperware. I like to create different levels, different heights. So if I do this, now I've got a different height. So I'm going to do that up here so it'll just kind of create a little fun vignette up this way. Otherwise you can't see this piece at all. So it's kind of
The
fun.
lighting's not great, I apologize.
Oh, we
This
forgot
is
to do
the
our.
old formal dining room was a little bit dim.
Yeah.
Joni has joined in. I'm going to send an invite. Glenn, hey Glenn, sending Glenn an invite. And Lorinda has joined.
Hi, Lorinda.
And I would send you an invite, but you're not invite worthy apparently, according to Facebook. Sorry. You don't rate with Facebook.
Of course she is.
Facebook doesn't like Lorinda.
Loves Lorinda.
Oh, Joni's on.
Hi.
Yay!
I see Joni.
Hi. Do you like it?
Love it.
Here, I'll flip it around so you can see both of them.
Awesome. Yay! Hi. I can't wait to come be with you guys.
It's so
There's Tyler Dean.
Hey,
Hi.
Poppy.
It's not Poppy, it's Joni.
no,
Hi,
Poppy's
Joni.
outside.
Joni says, yay,
Yeah,
love it.
I love it. Hey, Poppy.
Lorinda says, hi, Dina and Troy.
Hi, Dina.
Hey,
Joy.
Ty, can you hand mommy this? Can
Uh,
you hand mommy that picture?
uh,
Thank you.
You got
Okay,
it,
so
good
this
job.
is a picture of my mom and my Aunt Barbara. They're twins. Old picture, but I love how this kind of goes with the feel of the room. So that's going to go up here. Isn't that cute? Just brings a little bit of touch of that old world. And what I am really not a big advocate of fake anything, but I do have this because I am not watering plants up on my China thing. So this just softens the wood. I'm looking for something different. I didn't want to use fabric. That's another thing you can use to soften wood. I've done that before. I'm sick of it. So this is what I've come up with, but I'll come up with something different that's a little bit more clever. I just haven't thought of anything just yet. Anyway, so this is pretty much done. I might tweak it here and there a little bit, but that's kind of how that's going to be. All right. These things, by the way, I want to show you these. These are awesome. So when you have your candles that drip wax, what they do is they prevent it from dripping whatever's underneath. You put these in first, and then you put your candles on, and they're wonderful. So I do love these.
Joni says, can't wait to have a family meal with you in the new room.
Yay! Indeed.
Now, this chair was over here in the corner, wasn't it?
It was, no, underneath the candle.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Was not specific enough. All right, so I think it was something like
Now, the one thing I will tell you is these candles are not exactly the right size, so they've fallen out many times. I'm hoping they don't fall out again. Which is not the end of the world, they're just candles. If they break, we don't cry over broken candles as opposed to spilt milk. And I don't know if I have enough candles, but if I don't, I will get some more. I'll start 3, 6, 5. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, looks good. And when I was moving all this stuff out, what I did was I dropped one of my glass wax catchers, but I have more because I bought them actually.
And I heard you talk earlier about 3, but any odd number.
Any odd number
so you can
is
see here there's
good.
5
Yeah,
candlesticks,
exactly.
for example.
And that's what I was saying over there. We had 3, but then we had 2 creates 5, and that kind of works visually, creates balance, which I like balance. Well, a lot of people think, and this is a certain type of decor, when you're doing everything symmetrical and you've got 1 and 1 or 2 and 2. That's fine. That's a different kind of balance. But what I'm saying is there's also this type of design where odd numbers create balance. And that's what this is.
Yeah, they crave more visual interest, I think.
It does. It does. I like to hang things in 3s and 5s.
And I'm not sure if you can tell, it might look a little funky on your computer screen or your phone screen, this paint, because this isn't regular, this is,
Oh, I love this paint.
it's got a texture to it. It's river rock, but it's not, Dina didn't apply it the way that you sometimes see river rock. She did it her own way, so it kind of has a suede,
I don't do anything normal.
it has kind of a suede look to it.
I do everything.
But it's smooth. I mean, it's got a little bit of a sandpapery touch to it, but it's,
And shout out to my dad who didn't want to do crown molding in here. And so I said, Dad, why don't we just do regular chair rail molding, but stick it to the ceiling? And he poo-pooed it, but then once it was up, I love it. And I think it looks great. And you don't have to, because when you do crown molding, you have to cut that ever so just right in the corners in order for that to make that work. But if you're just doing something like this, not so much.
and part of what helped is this ceiling is not the tallest ceiling in the house.
Right.
And I think it's actually the shortest room in the house for some reason. And so, yeah, having a big, long crown molding might have made the room feel even shorter.
So,
You talked about the ceiling already?
a while ago, but you can.
Oh, you did? On the previous episode?
Previous episode, but you can refresh people's memories.
Well, just Dina did this, and again, I don't know how well it shows up on here, but there's they're all in the same family, but there's 3 or 4 different shades of the brown, getting lighter as it goes in to give the room a feeling of more height, so that the center feels higher than the outside,
And
right?
actually, the center color is the foyer color that connects the 2 spaces.
So
The very center color.
that's
is the foyer
that color right in there
Yep.
matches the color out here. Speaking of out here, I'm going to go grab another chair. Again, pardon me for the darkness. And then I'll check some comments and see what anybody's been saying.
Sorry, this was kind of an impromptu decorating date night because I just wanted to get stuff back in order. It's not completely done. Bob's going to come back and do the threshold.
So, Joni says, Poppy is the man.
Yes, he is.
Catherine says, wow, I love the brown on the ceiling.
Thank you.
Lorinda says, love the ceiling.
Thanks.
And that was apparently worthy of 3 exclamation points.
Woohoo! I like
Not
that.
4, but 3. We'll take it.
Okay, so I'm missing things. I know this goes here.
Is this where this is?
Oh, it's blind glass.
This table's not in the right spot.
Well, we can move it.
It's not centered.
Okay, whatever.
Let's see who else we got here. Any other comments? Pardon. Well, it's hard for me to look at the comments and look at the screen at the same time. So you're getting weird shots, I'm sure. I think I've responded to everybody's comment and recognized everybody who's joined, I believe. And I invited, I think, everybody that Facebook would allow me to invite. So maybe it's a special feature you have to have in your Facebook account. I have no idea. Let's see here. And Catherine says, oh, and I love Dina's dress. Such a pretty color on you. I don't know if she was here to hear that. I'll have to pass it along when she comes back in the room. And then I get this chair in place. Ooh, look at that. A ghost is moving the chair. Get that centered. Well, yeah, I knew we had that one in the other room. But we have to move this table. It has to come over about, I don't know if you can tell on the phone, but you can see that it's not centered with the chandelier.
It never really was.
Yeah, but it's definitely, well, if anything, it should cheat that way, don't you think?
Okay, just tell me which way.
Pardon me while I put this phone down.
I
Sorry.
could have done it myself. Right?
No, don't put stress on the legs.
Okay.
Let's see if that's better. How's that? How is it as far as left, right?
It's fine.
Yeah? Yeah, 'cause you don't have enough room to pull these chairs in and out. Still feels a little tight to me, but maybe it's always been that tight.
It's always been that tight.
All right, let's see. Joni says, is the wine rack new?
No, you just never really saw it because of all the clutter.
Was that everything from this room is out of there now?
Yeah, I believe so. All the clutter you didn't really see.
Yeah, this is the wine rack that Joni's asking about.
Nope, I've always
Not
had
new.
that. No, the only thing that's new is there's a metal piece that Tori's going to be hanging shortly that I found online. This bowl is new. My sister-in-law gave this to me for my birthday. Thank you, Terry.
When you missed it before you were out of the room, Catherine commented, said, oh, I love Dina's dress. Such a pretty color on you.
Thank you.
Todd Matovich.
Hey, Todd.
Gonna invite Todd.
All right. So this is the piece, by the way, that's new, Joni, in case you're still
Oh,
watching.
and now Joni says that Poppy is with us now.
Oh, hey, Poppy. Poppy. Dad.
Hey, Poppy.
And
So this piece is going to go above, and it'll tie in with everything.
okay, and Mindy has joined. I'm
Hi,
inviting Mindy, whatever that does for you. All right, so.
All right, so this piece is now going to go above there.
All right,
and I
if
think
you-
that's pretty much it.
If you want to jump back in, Joni, if Poppy's there, maybe he can say hello to Tyler and he'll get out of my hair. That's
He's
up
done
to
doing his
that's
thing.
up to you.
And now the next project my husband's going to do. Remember, we're Facebook Live, honey, so you have to be nice about it. My husband's going to put together this really cool little fan for our workout room. These are the tiniest blades I've ever seen because we don't have a whole lot of space. Isn't that cute? But I do need some circulation and just some workout. I don't know where the picture is. You can't really see the picture of the whole fan because there's a...
No, he kind of,
Well,
sort
on
of
the side,
can.
you can kind of see. And then we have the light kit that's going to go under there too. So anyway, and that could be flush mount because again, we don't have a whole lot of ceiling room, but that's my husband's next project.
Is this room basically done now?
The handyman, yeah, we are pretty much done. We just have to.
Well, then if
our
you want
contractor's
to
gonna
hold
come
this for a
and
minute,
do-
I'll hang that thing up, I guess.
Yeah, all right. So if you have any other questions, comments, get them in now. And Troy's going to hang one last thing above here, and then we're done. Oopsie daisy, I'm tripping over things. But this is now coming in from the front foyer. And this is now coming into the dining room. What color are the walls? Okay, so this color in the dining room is, well, I'll start in the foyer. So Catherine, the color in the foyer is called Squirrel's Tail. I love this color. It's an older color by Martha Stewart Sherwin-Williams. And if you go to the Sherwin-Williams on 7th Street, right there by the Giant Eagle, they still can make it. Squirrel's Tail is the name of that. This piece, by the way, in the foyer is a fish that I designed. and put it down on paper and had my metal crafts. I work with a guy that does metal, and he literally took my vision that was on paper and created this, which I don't know if you can see it, but it has that scroll feel, and it has the leaf pattern, and it's all metal. And then I was able to paint the metal. There's a little cross in the fish's tail, which I found online. Okay, so now moving into the dining room, this color is a color they don't make anymore. It's a River Rock by Ralph Lauren. And I cannot remember the name of the color because they don't even make it. But anyway, that is that color. The kitchen color, I believe, is called, oh gosh, I want to say graphite, but I cannot remember. It's also a Sherwin-Williams color, but it's a new color that they have. And I was able to bring the swatches and bring them to the store. Dog, this is my dog being, hello Angel. Oh, it's time for you to eat, huh? That's my silly puppy. She's wanting to come in. Angel, you want to say hi? Say hi, puppy. Say hi, puppy. That's our cute puppy dog.
Hey, Poppy.
No, I was saying hi to the puppy.
Hi,
You have to do middle.
Middle, I mean middle.
Isn't that, you have to hang it in the middle of the,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm gonna catch a stud. I'm gonna get
That's
that one.
not that heavy.
So, yeah, but just to be sure, I'm gonna use a screw instead.
Okay,
So it'll be that much more
Okay.
secure and drywall.
that's fine.
Now you gotta tell me where we want this.
Do you want a pencil or you're just gonna wing it?
No, I got this screw in my hand.
Okay.
All right.
The
so,
moment of truth.
I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I can see. That's about right visually. Can you tuck your head down a little bit, honey? Okay. That's pretty much spot on. Go up a smidge. Right, no, down, right there.
Is it right, left, or right?
It looks to be,
Take a measure, make sure.
you need to get the, blah, blah, blah.
It's right in front of me. I can't go get it.
Okay, I think you probably have to go to the right a smidge, but I don't know for sure. Can you do both?
Yeah, I think
Okay. All right. You sure? This is when I would typically help him, but we are filming this episode of Decorating Date Night with Troy and Dina. By the way, all the episodes are at our website, decoratingdatenight.com. You can check it out. We even have official t-shirts. When we come to your house, we bring a t-shirt with us. And this is a free service, but what we do ask you to do is to make a donation to a charity that we support.
Probably should go to the right a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
How's that?
Let me see. I'm looking through the camera instead of looking, and I think that's about right. You might have went over a smidge too far, but
Get a feel for where that is. That's about
do you need me to help you?
a little bit, 12 and a half-ish inches. That's about. It's like playing Twister.
Yep.
I feel like I didn't go too far.
Yep.
How's that?
That looks to be about right. Here, you want me to do it again?
Do it again.
It's good? Yeah, I think that's
Think it's
good.
good?
I think it's, let me just visually, sorry everybody. I'm showing you ceilings and walls. Yeah, that looks good. Let me just look from this angle.
How's the height?
Height looks good. Yeah, I like that. It's not too much, it's just a little bit, just to kind of bring attention to the detail of the molding. I like that a lot,
So
good
what
deal.
I'm doing, I'm sure this isn't a new trick for anybody. I'm
gonna get you
using
from the
tip-
side so that
using
you
the tip
can,
of the screw as my mark.
uh-huh.
Pressing a small divot in the drywall so that I don't need the pencil.
Sorry, the lighting's not the best. I'm trying to get
Sorry about that.
better lighting. Excuse me.
Okay. So there's my dot.
Did you hit a stud?
Oh, I don't know. On the odds, I mean, what are the odds? The odds
Right.
are I did not, but
Yeah, that's, how much does that weigh? 3 pounds?
not yet.
So if that screw cannot hold a 3-pound little piece of metal, then we're in trouble.
And what we have to do is, because the head of the screw is a little bit bigger than we need it to be.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to screw it in first, and then I'll have to back it out.
Oh, I gotcha. And then put it back in?
Yeah. Because it'll fit in the hole if I put it in sideways, but I'm not going to put it in, you know, of the wall hanger.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to put it in sideways when it's actually up against, flush against the wall.
So how are you going to do that?
Because there's a hole access.
Oh, I see. So you can
So I'm going to use a skinny screwdriver to do that.
Oh, to actually screw it in.
So I use this screwdriver to start, but where'd the other screwdriver? There it is. The skinny screwdriver will fit.
Alrighty.
It's all about having the tools, right?
Yep. Indeed. Now, originally we got this piece of metal wall hanging because I was thinking that me patching this side of the wall was going to be obvious. But the paint match was so spot on. I got to tell you, the guys at Benjamin Moore right there on East Street, you can bring them any swatch and they will match it spot on better than anybody. Tom works there. He's great. He's probably the best at this. Hi, Susan. How are you? He's probably the best in the area at matching your swatch. And what's good, like this paint has been on our walls for probably 15 years. So it's old. So it's not the same exact color as when I first put it on. So if I were to get this color new, it wouldn't have matched. So what I had to do was match a piece of drywall that came off the wall. That looks good.
Is it balanced?
It has to go down on the left. A little bit more. Keep going.
Really?
Yeah. The problem is the piece itself is a little bit wonky, but I think that's about right.
Really?
Yeah.
Up close it doesn't look good.
I know, but when you're on it, does that make that looks good to me?
Maybe a little more, huh?
See? I told you.
What do you think?
Yeah, the problem is the piece itself is not the same on each side. It's not a symmetrical piece, so you kind of just have to.
Maybe these go on the left a little bit now.
Yeah, you might have done a little bit too much, but it's fine. I mean, this is not meant to be exact.
Oops.
Whoa, Nelly.
Where am I?
That's good.
Good?
It's no, go up a little bit on that side. There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah, I think so.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get the middle really more than anything as opposed to the ends. So there you have it. So this room is signed, sealed, and delivered, done. Thank you so much for being with us. Hi, Paul. Thanks for coming on, for joining. Actually, Paul sold us this house. Paul Hudson's on. Paul, remember this? Okay, so Paul, you'll probably get a kick out of this. When we bought this house, if you remember, we came in through the front, walked in the kitchen. I love this kitchen, and this area right here had a desk area, and we moved the desk into the family room, cut it down, and moved the cabinet into the garage, and we opened up this space, so now there's a much better connection between our kitchen and our dining room. And it looks like it's always been there. My contractor is by far the best guy that we've worked with. He's wonderful because he's also a friend of ours. He and his wife Monique own 10 Clark Place right in Frederick. You've got to go stay there. Best B&B ever. They're actually having a wedding at their B&B tonight. Just a small one. An elopement, if you will.
Probably going to have to move this down a couple inches that way.
That's fine. Okay, so here is our dining room from the foyer. We've got it all put back together. Oh, no, I don't. I have to get my curtain. Here, why don't you hold this? I'm going to go get the curtain. I forgot. I've got to hang that curtain back up. I thought I had something else. Put this back over here.
That's better. One of the things I learned by doing things with Dina is sometimes like measuring and having things spot on dead center doesn't work visually. So Again, I don't know how well it shows up via the phone. This dining room table is not actually dead centered against anything. It's not exactly in the center of the room. It's not exactly centered under the chandelier. It's not exactly centered with the furniture pieces around it. And yet it's just off in all the right places, so that generally speaking, you walk in and it feels like it's in the right spot and it feels like it's centered relative to everything else. And I would have never figured that out on my own until Dean's like, no, trust me, move it a little bit to the left. I said, but that's not centered. I measured it. She's like, so? And sure enough, so.
Okay, so here's a little trick. Spring rod. These are awesome because you can make them bigger, smaller. So I'm using this spring rod because I'm going to actually hang these panels that I made underneath the cornice board that Troy made many years ago. Remember that, dear?
Yeah, and that thing is real wood, and
Yes,
it weighs
a lot.
more than me. Maybe that's exaggeration, but it is heavy.
Yeah,
And getting that thing up there and in place was almost a feat of engineering. It was hard, and to have it be flush and square.
That's why we didn't want to paint the dining room a different
Oh
color.
my goodness, taking that down and painting
I love this color.
and putting it back up was going to be a
love this
chore
color.
times 2. So anyway, you said hello to Mindy, I'm assuming.
To who?
Mindy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't. Hi, Mindy.
And see, Joni said hi to Tyler.
Oh, okay.
And Catherine says, what color are the walls?
I already addressed that.
Okay. Todd said, looking great. Catherine, wow, that's beautiful. Susan has joined. Paul Hudson joined. All right.
All right. This is unfortunate, but it's just...
What's the matter?
One of the end cap came off. There was like a...
Oh.
It's somewhere in here. But it was...
In where? In the fabric?
Yeah, but what happened was it felt... It
Oh, you're going to
wore
want...
through.
Oh.
So it
You
wasn't
think it'll still hold up there?
I think it will. Yeah, I guess we'll find out, right? Moment of truth.
Well, because the cornice board is fabric, right? So it's kind of going to press into that.
Yeah, it should be okay. It's going to press into the wood or the fabric. Okay. This again...
Want me to do it, or you got it?
I think I got it. So from the outside, your house should have some sort of similarity. So because we have these wood shutters, from the outside, the front of the house looks all the same.
And
that's
like,
important for curb.
Yeah, like here, for example.
Right. So on the inside, in order to soften the wood, because this is more of a formal dining room and this is more of a contemporary feel, in order to do that, we add fabric. And not just the cornice board, that wasn't enough. I needed to have more. So that's why I did this. So now I just have to tighten it.
These kinds that you just spin and they get tighter by the spring as you go. Yeah. Chuck has joined. He says, y'all have a nice little shack there.
Thanks, Chuck. Well, you've seen it.
Radio pays good, he says.
No. We've just been blessed in other ways with a wonderful family.
And Stacy.
Pedersen?
Yep.
Hi, Stacy. I need to come to your house.
Threw me with the Stacy Gibbons in there, but I guess that's her maiden name, Stacy Gibbons Pedersen.
Okay, I think that's. I don't know that I can get it any tighter.
Is it tight enough? I can go.
Well, what I
spin it
have
more
to
if you
do
want.
is I have this string and then it holds it up in the middle.
Stacy says, hey guys.
Hi.
And you have it puddling just a little bit on the floor, right?
Yep. I don't have my thumbtack anymore
For what?
to hang it. So I put a thumbtack with a piece of string. Otherwise, it sags because. You know what I mean?
Well, if it's thumbtack in the
I think I
kitchen
lost
drawer?
it. Oh, you can get a thumbtack from in there. Yeah, that'll work.
I mean, was it a special?
You can sign off. honey.
Was it a special thumbtack?
No, you don't see it.
All right. Well, let me see if I can find a thumbtack. If I can't, we'll sign off. I knew where the thumbtacks were, but we rearranged a bunch of stuff when we moved our one cabinet into the, oh, I think I found them, into the garage, and so we have stuff in different drawers in the kitchen now. Is this the kind of thumbtack you need? Just this kind?
I think so.
Just a regular flat one?
Oh, that's not going to be long enough.
You need the ones that stick out from the wall?
Yeah. All right. Why don't you just be done with that?
Okay.
Bye, Facebook Live.
Hold on a second. Let's see. Stacy says, we'll definitely have to have you over. I'm sure we could use your expertise.
Looking
All
forward
right.
to it. Plus, we need to catch up.
Look at that.
All right.
You
Oh,
like it, Todd?
what do you got there, Bubba?
Oh, some yogurt. Yep, you can
All
have
right.
some yogurt.
Well, Mommy's busy, so you want to say goodbye to Facebook? Hold on a second. Let me flip this around and we'll say goodbye to. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Say goodbye.
Goodbye, Facebook.
That's our